Coast, the Weather Channel has you covered. Today's flight crew, that includes our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, meteorologist Jen Carfagno, and myself, meteorologist Alex Wallace. Now, the captain normally tells you to look out for some impressive views from your passenger seat, but some people got them from the comfort of their balconies in the ATL.
Whoa.
Looks suspicious, doesn't it?
It certainly does at a first glance.
Yeah.
Just had folks talking.
Talking and going crazy. My wife ran into the room. She's like, oh my God. I was like, chill out.
Yeah.
It's not. But when you see it, even when I first saw it, it was still, I started looking at the radar. I was like, where is this? It was wild.
So, I mean, look, you can't tell anything from just one image. That's the thing always. I think that's the lesson learned here. But there's no rotation.
That's it. That's the key right there. This was a cloud that was produced by some rain-cooled air that just happened to be dangling down like a tornado, right? But it was not spinning.
Happening.
Just happened to do what looks like a tornado, but it's not because it was not rotating. That's right.
Right. And, there wasn't even really terribly strong winds either. It was, but very ominous, no doubt.
Absolutely. Well, the storm is no doubt going to be throwing a bit of a from coast to coast. The Weather Channel has you covered. Now, today's flight crew includes storm specialist Dr. Greg Postel, as well as meteorologist Jen Carfagno and myself, meteorologist Alex Wallace. Now, the captain normally kind of tells you to kind of look out for some impressive views from the passenger seat, but some folks got a chance to see it from the comfort of their balconies in Atlanta. Look at those skies. And then as it pans over, that is like triple take. You're like, what is that?
What is that lowering of a cloud that looks suspiciously like a tornado? What is that?
And this is over Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Yes. This was all over social media yesterday.
Caused quite a bit of a frenzy.
It was a bit of a frenzy.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, look, it has that look, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It has that look. And Jen, you made the great point is that having the look isn't all the whole story.
This is the whole story. We're going to we'll give you the details on this here. We won't give it away just yet, but stay tuned. Coming up in about 15 minutes.
Oh, storms are going to be throwing a bit of a curveball.
Sunny start here in Minneapolis, lots of blue sky and warm temperatures, very summer-like here as I stand in our virtual view. But as the day progresses, we've got some chances. The blue skies could turn dark and gray, and that could give us some downpours. So be on alert for all the hazards that come with this. Some damaging winds, small hail, all a possibility here in the Twin Cities. Not a guarantee, but a possibility that we get this. So we've got a chance today. We've also got a chance tomorrow, stretching from Minnesota into Wisconsin and even lower Michigan. We'll take it into Indiana as well tomorrow. So this is a zone to watch the next 2 days. What we're looking at as we head through the end of the week and the weekend is a front that will be dropping in. But in the days preceding that, we're going to see a lot of southerly flow, bringing up the moisture, increasing the humidity, helping to increase the instability. Temperatures keep warming every day as well. And we'll have some of those storm chances, mainly the pop-up variety, the kind that bubble up and they don't generally move a whole lot. They don't organize a whole lot. Sometimes they bring some strong gusty winds, but that's generally the kind of storms that we're going to be looking at today and tomorrow. Dew points are in the mid-60s, low 60s, really. Some of you in the mid-60s. But each day, that's going to increase. So tomorrow, we'll see that chance of storms maybe increasing just a little bit more. Here's a look at the radar, the forecast radar through today. You can see how isolated it is out there, but there is a chance. And then again, tomorrow as well, there is a chance of thunderstorms. This is through even tomorrow evening. You've got that chance of storms bubbling up into southern Minnesota. Now, as we get you into Friday and Saturday, now we've got the front coming in. And now we've got a lifting mechanism here. So a bit more forcing in the atmosphere, and that's going to increase the coverage of thunderstorms. We'll see on Friday a really hot and humid day. Then thunderstorms come in. Unfortunately, the timing might be around your fireworks time. We'll see it continuing, though, through Saturday. And Saturday is the stormiest day up there in Minnesota, continuing on a Saturday into Sunday across the rest of the Great Lakes area here, including in Michigan and then southward through the Midwest. We've got those storm chances, too. Some of the heaviest of rain could be up in Minnesota with 1 to 2 inches of rain in Minneapolis. It plays out like this for us Friday night, and then Saturday, a pretty stormy day, and Saturday night. So, Alex, I do think the Friday night fireworks are in jeopardy here.
Oh man, not what we want to hear. Well, I always say there's nothing.
All of its beauty.
There you go.
You see,
Alex.
You do get a lot. You do get a lot.
Yes.
I have a question. Is June included in both of those options? One was January through June, and the other one was June through December.
Oh, it should be July through December.
July. I might have messed up.
I'm just wondering. No. I'm just wondering because if you did include June,
You can.
You can't.
You know, you
oh,
cannot.
too bad. June's a great month, isn't it?
You can't double dip, right?
Oh, I guess
Double
maybe
dip.
that's what I'm looking for.
Double dip is great.
All right, keep your comments coming. Vote in our poll. Share any pics and video using the hashtag YesTV. Keep trying to rotation here. It was not a tornado, but we've seen a lot of rotation this year, and it seems like we've been talking about tornadoes every month.
Yeah, it really has. And, as we are halfway through the year, we kind of want to take a look at 2025's tornado report card, at least so far. And, just looking at this, tornado reports, it's been pretty busy. It's been very busy, in fact.
Over lots of places. So many states have so far reported, I should say, above average tornado activity for the year.
So when you look at this, you see a lot of dots. It looks obviously like a lot of tornadoes, but it is important to compare it and give perspective to what is typical, what is average. So, the Midwest especially.
Yes, a couple of places stand out. Obviously, those areas in pink are where the numbers have exceeded the average by the most on this map. And the red is rather substantial, too. The plains, we can't forget the plains, Kansas. These are traditionally big winners in the tornado count. And maybe they didn't see as many tornadoes there as they did in the Midwest. It was still above average. And we have some good video from some of those tornadoes in the plains. And Alex, the big winners relative to average and even straight right out, the numbers, the highest numbers, Midwest, Illinois, Missouri. We have some tornado footage from Missouri going back this year.
So far, right? The year's not done.
Nope.
These are areas that still can see tornadoes for the rest of the year.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
And, some of those stormiest days were back, as we talked about, in spring, April and March. Yes, we've seen a lot of video come from the plains in recent weeks where it seems like every day there's some severe weather of some variety. But really the tornadoist, I would say, period of the year so far was earlier in the spring.
Which is interesting because when you think about what month do you consider the most tornado-prone month, most people would say May, and that would be accurate.
Yes, and we're going to continue to see, even now as you go into summer, some chance of tornado. And when you look at the
West, so we got to watch that area very, very closely across places like Minnesota, including Minneapolis. July is going to be that time of the year that we tend to focus on those spots for those tornadoes.
Bad weather in the first half, but it's a reason to do something more fun.
That's a good point. You can always kind of switch up what you're dealing with and try to go somewhere else.
Yeah, if you don't like in the second part of the year, if you don't like the heat in July and August, well, then maybe you can go north and travel around even the world where it's cooler in some parts.
Why don't you go south to Southern Hemisphere?
Or go to the Southern Hemisphere where it's winter.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
Well, Dan says nothing beats a sunny. I've not been there, but I would like to.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just can picture it, right?
Yes,
I've been there. I've done that. If you like the fall, yes. If you're afraid of the cold, like me, maybe not.
Keep your comments coming. We'll be sharing them on the show.
The Weather Channel has you covered. Now, today's flight crew includes storm specialist Dr. Greg Postel, as well as meteorologist Jen Carfagno, and myself, meteorologist Alex Wallace. Now, when you're flying around out, the captain normally tells you to kind of look out for maybe an impressive view from the passenger seat, but some folks got a pretty impressive view from the comfort of their balconies and the ATL.
Well, what do we have here over the Atlanta skyline?
Well, when you glance at it, you do like a triple take and you say, wait a minute, is that a spinny tornado going on? What's going on?
Which is why you got to look at it for a little while and see if it is rotating. Because sometimes cloud features like this don't rotate. They look really bad, but because they're not associated with any kind of motion like that, they're harmless.
Well, we'll tell you exactly what is happening right here coming up in about 15, 20 minutes. But first, we got to get into some of the top stories.
Yep. Storms.
Yes. That might be like summing it up. We can handle it. It's such an emotional thing. We can handle it more in summer.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's props for the second half, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, too.
All right, keep those comments coming. We'll share them on the show.
Climate, perhaps-ish?
War and enemy. You do need a little rain in your life. We all do. But we made big pros and cons list during the commercial breaks. I think we can establish that the second half of the year, probably.
We actually, all three of us agree.
We agree on that. For different reasons, though. That's what's funny.
Different reasons.
I was going to say, that's rare. But it makes sense because it's for different reasons.
Well, thanks for playing along. Meteorologist Chris Bruin and Felicia Combs are the second halves of Weather Channel Live, and they'll come together at the top of the hour.